can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still tryna fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Make me put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like Kima. Ain't give a F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on a brand new Beamer. Tryna earn 8 stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a keto. And expose to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer. Dímelo porque yo no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. They shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe it. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can.
Welcome in. Happy Friday, everybody. Big day. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Dewan, what's up? If you're in the chat, say hello. We've got big MLB slate tonight. We've got some NBA playoffs, Knicks and Pacers. Knicks are banged up. Obviously, no OG Anunoby going tonight. Jalen Brunson is banged up as well, but I'm assuming he's going to play, but probably not 100%. And then at 9:30, we've got Nuggets, Timberwolves. Wolves looking to go up 3-0. They're at home. They are slight favorites, so that's fun. Tons of fun in the NBA tonight. Mitchell, what's up? And then for baseball, we've got a big 12-game slate. We've got some stuff to talk about for the weekend too. To look at yesterday, we premium profited like a unit yesterday. Went 2-1, and the Cavs pulled a big win out, upset the Celtics. Our guy Evan Mobley, shout out! I told you all the last 2 weeks he needs to play center. He's been playing center with Jared Allen out, and last night was huge for him. First time he's really stood up and been really aggressive and played like, we know he can play. Obviously, we know that Evan Mobley can be a great player, and he finally stepped up and did that last night. So that was great to see. I still don't think they have any chance to win the series, but that's awesome to win a game at Boston, and now you come home for 2 games. Like, let's see what happens. Maybe they, maybe if you can get a split here in Cleveland, it's at least gonna, come back, which is awesome. Shout out to the Cavs for playing hard, and they easily could have just folded and got swept, and they didn't. So shout out to them for that. Big win for our Dallas Mavericks. If you follow the streams and stuff, we did bet the Mavericks to win that series over the Thunder. So that was a big win for the Mavericks last night, 1-1, going back to Dallas now. They kind of flipped that home court, which is big. They played much better. I told you after, the first game, I wasn't worried because they did that against the Clippers. They didn't look great in the first game, but then they rallied. I thought we could see something similar, and they did the same thing, come out with a big win in the second game. So that was good to see for our Mavericks ticket. What else was going on yesterday? There wasn't much going on in baseball yesterday. There was only a couple games. The one bet I lost yesterday was a basketball bet. Went 2-0 in baseball, and then I bet the Cavs team total under. That was a disaster. I'm sure that's like the only game they'll play good, and it was naturally the one time I bet on them to not play good. That's just how it works. But I would be Thursdays and MLB suck. Yeah, sometimes I like the day games sometimes, but sometimes it's a little lackluster. I might go to one of these Cavs games, not tomorrow, but maybe game 4. I'll see. We'll see what's going on. I don't even know when that game is. Monday or Tuesday, probably. So I don't know. We'll see. Dude, I want to so bad tomorrow go to the Pirates game, but I'm not going to. So if you guys don't know, Paul Skeens is making his MLB debut tomorrow. This is one of the best pitching prospects of the last Probably 10 to 15 years. I mean, this guy, if you look at what he did at LSU last year, winning them the national title, and then what he's done in the minors this year, let me pull up his exact numbers because I know it's absolutely insane. So he got picked first overall in last year's draft. He has been at AAA for this season. After spring, he pitched well in spring training, and then they sent him to AAA. So he's made I don't know how many 7 starts at AAA. He's thrown 27 innings, and he has 45 strikeouts in those 27 innings with a .99 ERA. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy numbers from Paul Skeens. He is making his debut tomorrow against the Cubs, and it's a great matchup. It's Paul Skeens against Justin. Absolutely electric pitching matchup. So I want to go, but I'm probably not going to. But that's pretty exciting stuff. I'm excited to see that tomorrow. I think my camera cut out, but I should be good now. All right. Let's pull this up here. I have not bet anything for baseball yet. I was going to try and have my card out early, but I obviously have been researching but have not taken officially anything yet. I thought I was going to like more plays than I did. But we'll dive in. We'll talk about it. We've had a big week on here. We've identified quite a few bets on the stream this week. Chris Sale strikeouts the other night was money, and a couple other spots like that. So it's been a pretty good week for the stream in terms of the baseball reads. So we'll see if we can find some more of those tonight, and then we'll talk basketball after. I'm not going to be betting the Denver game because we have the future on Minnesota, and there's just right now I don't think there's any reason for us to hedge that. So I think we'll stand off on that one. Knicks Pacers, I probably won't bet a side of it either. Maybe props, but we'll look. Philly -0.5 for the first 5. I'm assuming Mitchell, I think, is definitely fine with our guy on the mound. I don't think I would have to run the numbers, but I don't know if we've lost a Ranger Suarez bet all season, and we have bet on him quite a bit. He's probably like that might be the most bets we've put in all year on one person is probably Ranger Suarez, to be quite honest. I think we've bet him in majority of his starts. And he's going against the Marlins tonight, which is a good matchup. But all right, let's dive in. Fading all NBA bets today. Yeah, I don't like a side in either of those games. Knicks, it's weird with the like their injury stuff. I don't know. I don't want to touch that. Astros Tigers is the first game. Casey Mize, Framber Valdez. Mize has been good this year. I'm not going to bet a side of this game, but I'm still pretty bullish on a breakout from him. He was a very high draft pick for the Cardinals, went first overall. Man, that was 2019, 2018, something around that range. He was the first overall pick. Never looked great. Wasn't like a high strikeout arm in the minors. And then if you look at like his rookie season, it wasn't good. 6.90. First action was COVID year 2020. He had a 6.99 ERA. 2021, he was down to 3.71, but he was only 19% strikeouts. And then last year, or he didn't pitch last year. He was injured. When we saw him in 2022, 5.40 ERA, only 8% strikeouts. So really has never had great numbers. He's never had an expected ERA below 4.9. This year, the strikeouts still are not there. Only 17% strikeouts for Casey Mize. So it just looks like he's never going to be, as of right now, a high strikeout arm. But his expected ERA is below 4. It's 3.8. So really respectable numbers there. He has given up some hard hits, 45%. So that can be a little bit concerning. But overall, I'm pretty encouraged by what I've seen from him this year. This is definitely the best he's looked in his major league career. And we know he has pedigree from being that first overall pick. So I've been hesitant to kind of bet against him. So I'm probably just going to stay away from that game. But I'm going to keep monitoring Casey Mize and see, how he's pitching for, the next couple months and just see how he carries out this season. Cubs Pirates, our guy is on the mound, Jared Jones against Javier Assad. Assad has been good this year too. I want to pull up Assad's numbers before we dive in because we already know the story with Jared Jones. But Assad this year has a 1.66 ERA. It is backed by a 3.23 ERA. So obviously, he's probably gotten a little bit lucky, but a 3.23 expected ERA is not bad whatsoever. Still really good numbers. He's not a high strikeout arm at 20%, but doesn't give up a lot of hard hits, only 35% this season. His expected WOBA allowed only 288. So he's been very good at contact management and pitching to contact, getting a ton of outs. Let me see. Ground ball rate isn't crazy, but he's having a great season. I cannot, hate on how Javier Assad has been pitching this year. He's been very, very good. And then on the opposite side of that, when it comes to Jared Jones, I mean, we know the story. This is our guy. 2.95 expected ERA, 33.8% strikeouts, only 3.2% walks. Just absolutely disgusting. Getting 41% whiffs on his slider, getting 35% even on his fastball. He has pretty good fastball velocity. He's sitting 97, 98. So, I mean, this is a good pitching matchup here. Cubs, Pirates. I mean, you can tell obviously by that 7 total. Opened at 7.5 and it's down to 7. Like, clearly, this is a really good pitching matchup. But I'm probably going to keep. I want to see here. So, Assad, I think, is a sinker baller. I want to see what the Pirates do against sinkers here. It's not good. 124 ISO, 304 WOBA. Only McCutchen, Brian Reynolds, and Connor Joe have like pretty good numbers against the pitch. So, yeah, I don't know. That doesn't look great. And then on the opposite side, when it comes to the Cubs, they are pretty bad against sliders. Just a 300 WOBA, 26% strikeouts. So definitely a good spot for Jared Jones to get some Ks tonight. I probably will maybe a round robin pitcher strikeouts. Yeah, I was gonna say Jared Jones strikeouts might be like my favorite play in this game because I don't necessarily want to pick on Assad right now, and I'm obviously not going to pick on Jared Jones. So Jared Jones strikeout prop is 6.5. I think we can definitely take the over 6.5 there. So Jared Jones over 6.5 strikeouts looks like my favorite play in that game. Hopefully that slider's working for him tonight, and he can pile up some strikeouts. First 5 under is fine too, Austin. What is it at 3.5 or 4.5 though? I don't like, I bet, I mean, Mitchell, anyone in the Discord knows I bet first 5. I would say majority of my bets in baseball are first 5. But I don't like to bet the first 5 unders when it's 3.5. 4.5 is the sweet spot. And I would assume it's 3.5 if that totals 7. So I probably would just avoid it. Yankees and Rays. Taj Bradley is making his debut, not major league debut, but season debut for the Rays tonight. He was one of their better pitching prospects. I think that was last year when he got hurt, and we haven't seen him since then. But he's looked pretty good in his rehab assignments. I did like him when he was pitching during his rookie campaign. So he's going up against Clark Schmidt. Clark Schmidt is a guy that we're fans of on this stream as well. I was really high on him coming into last year, if you guys remember that. And then this year, he's been pretty good. 3.50 ERA, 27% strikeouts is a big jump up from what we saw last year at 21%. So he's in the middle of a pretty good season here. His best pitch in terms of whiffs is his knuckle curve at 33%. His expected ERA is a run higher than his actual. So nothing crazy there. I do like Taj Bradley, but I probably wait and see mode here, and I want to see how he looks tonight. So that one's probably a stay away game for me. Arizona and Baltimore. This is a really fun game. So we have Brandon Pfaadt going against Cole Irvin. This is a game where I think we could look at the first 5 under 4.5. So the last time I looked, it was on FanDuel. Let me pull this up. The last time I looked, the first 5 under on FanDuel is minus 146. I believe you can get minus 140 on DraftKings. So if you're going to bet it, I would consider taking it on DraftKings to get that 6 cents of value. I like both of these pitchers. Brandon Pfaadt has been pretty unlucky this year. We've talked about that a couple times on stream before, but His expected ERA is a good bit higher, or a good bit lower than his actual. His actual's at 4.61, expected's at 3.35. He's not walking a lot of guys, and he's been pretty decent at contact management as well. Only 35% hard hits allowed, 293 expected WOBA allowed. So I'm buying stock in Brandon Pfaadt right now. He looked great in the playoffs last year, and I think he's been a little bit unlucky to start the season. If we dive into his pitches, he does not get a lot of swing and miss with his four-seam fastball, which is his most used pitch, but guys are not hitting it well. 196 batting average allowed with that pitch. His sweeper is where he gets all the whiffs at, 39% there. So look, I'm fine buying stock in Brandon Pfaadt. And then if we look at Cole Irvin on the other side, I feel like coming into the season, this is a guy people were pretty comfortable picking on. He's been good this year. 286 ERA, 373 expected isn't anything crazy. He's not a strikeout guy, but he's pretty good at contact management, and he doesn't walk a lot of guys. He throws a lot of curveballs, and it's actually like, I mean, his curveball is better than his fastball. His fastball's not been very good, but yeah, he throws a ton of curveballs. He throws it 30% of the time, which is, with off the top of my head, there's probably not many guys in terms of starters that throw 30% curveballs in baseball. So let me look at Arizona against curveballs. I think that could be indicative of some success here. Let's see. Arizona versus curveballs. They strike out a lot, which doesn't really factor in here because Cole Irvin is not getting strikeouts, but pretty good numbers. 343 WOBA as a team. Ketel Marte, Corbin Carroll, Gurriel all have really strong numbers against curveballs. Decent power as well. Cole Irvin's good to both sides of the plate as well, so I don't think that there's any, it doesn't matter that he's facing, he's going to face a pretty much all right-handed lineup tonight, but that should matter because if we look at this season, he has actually been pretty good against righties. 281 WOBA allowed, 100 ISO, so yeah, really good numbers to both sides of the plate. He's just been good all around this year. To Mitchell's point in chat, you said you like the lefties from the Orioles. Yeah. So Brandon Pfaadt's big issue for his career has been lefties, and that's carried over to this season. So if we look at him just this season, he's allowing a 229 WOBA and a sub 100 ISO to righties. To lefties, it's 402 and 227. So some pretty massive differences, and you can really take advantage of that when he's facing a predominantly left-handed team. And he'll probably see six of the 9 will be lefties tonight for Baltimore. So yeah, I mean, if you want to take some of those guys, some of those lefties, I don't hate it. Gunnar Henderson's someone that, I think is really good this year and has been playing good. Ryan O'Hearn started off really hot. He's kind of cooled off recently, but yeah, don't hate that call at all, Mitchell. I think that was pretty good. I'm fine with the first 5 under in this game. Haven't bet it, but that was like my initial lean when I was looking at the game. But yeah, Mitchell, to your point, you could talk me into some props for some of these lefties on Baltimore, most definitely. Twins and Blue Jays. This is an interesting game here. We have Joe Ryan going against Kikuchi. I want to pull up Joe Ryan's numbers and just take a look because my initial read on this was I kind of was leaning towards the Toronto side of this. Joe Ryan has been unlucky this year, but I want to note that Joe Ryan, if we look at last year's stats, his actual ERA was a full run higher than is expected. This year, it's the same thing. I think that this could end up being a common theme for Joe Ryan because he's going to allow home runs, and that's going to get you in trouble. He has such a good fastball, like really, really good fastball. He's only allowing a 220 batting average with that fastball, and he throws it almost 50% of the time. The problem is that, and you can attribute this to someone like Spencer Strider as well. The problem is when you have a really, really good fastball, these guys like a Joe Ryan, Spencer Strider, Garrett Cole is another guy with a great fastball. They're going to challenge hitters with that fastball, and they're just not going to be scared. They will challenge you with that fastball. And if an MLB hitter gets a hold of that, it's going to be a home run. when you're throwing it 50% of the time. So that's a reason why I think it'll probably be tough. Like Joe Ryan will probably always be one of those unlucky guys because it takes one swing of the bat for him throwing as many fastballs as he does. And it's going to leave the yard and it's going to inflate your ERA naturally. But Joe Ryan is a very good pitcher. There is no denying that. In terms of Kikuchi, he's been very, very good this season as well. 2.72 ERA. The expected isn't much higher. 26% strikeouts. 276 WOBA allowed. Guy's been absolutely incredible. So I want to pull up. Let me dive into the lineups here. So for Toronto, obviously, Joe Ryan, he's good against both sides of the plate. He's going to give up power, and that's kind of the case with him. I don't think we need to dive into that much. In terms of Kikuchi being a lefty, he's going to see a full probably 8-9 righties in the lineup tonight for Minnesota. They're a very right-handed heavy team. Last year, he was significantly worse against righties than lefties. This year, that hasn't been the case. This year, he's definitely worse, but it hasn't been quite to the level that we saw from him last year. But it definitely still gives me some pause that he's going to see a full, 9 righties in the lineup tonight. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of this one. Might stay away. You can see there's a little bit of sharp money coming in on Minnesota, and after reviewing it, I probably would have to lean Minnesota at least for the first 5, just because of that right-handed heavy lineup we're going to see. Maybe a first 5 over if it's 3.5. Let me see. It is 3.5. A first 5 over could interest me maybe here too. Does Minnesota still strike out a lot? Yeah, they if we look at their numbers for current season and last season, against lefties, they don't strike out that much. Actually, only 20%. But against righties, it's 22%, a little bit higher. Not crazy. I want to look at just this season though. Yeah, they've been pretty good in terms of strikeouts this year. They do not strike out much at all against lefties. So I don't know. The Twins might be my lean in that game, to be honest, now that we dive into it a little bit more. Washington and Boston. Tanner Houck against Patrick Corbin. Boston and Tanner are massive favorites here going against Patrick Corbin. Minnesota curse, forgot to. Yeah, we did. If you guys have followed the stream for a long time, last year we were cursed when it comes to the Twins. We bet on them. There was a period, Dwan. I mean, we were betting them every day or every other day for like a month. And they just would always let us down in the craziest ways. But we did hit a Twins bet. That was 2 days ago. So I think we broke the Twins curse. So maybe we go back to the Twins tonight. I don't know. Let me see if the money line predictor has a lean on that game. What do we think here? Let's see. Oh my God. Money line predictor likes the Twins. 15% differential. Oh, might be Twins night. Might be Twins. Twins money line might be the play for us. Jared Jones K's and Twins money line might be the play. I'm not touching this Boston game. If anything, I'd bet Washington just because they're such huge favorites. And we've discussed this a number of times. Patrick Corbin is like actually a profitable pitcher to bet on because he doesn't lose as much as you think he does. And he's always like a huge underdog. So you can bet Patrick Corbin 3 times and you only need him to win once and you're going to make money on it. So I'm staying away. If anything, I would lean probably towards the Nationals. Phillies and Marlins, our guy Ranger Suarez going tonight against the Marlins. I mean, we have to just shout out this guy every single time he pitches. Let's pull his numbers up. Absolutely disgusting. 172 ERA, 223 actual, 27% strikeouts. He's only walking 3% of batters. 27% hard hits is one of the best numbers in all of baseball. 240 expected WOBA allowed is one of the best numbers in all of baseball. Someone needs to go find like the first week of this season streams. I swear I said I like Ranger Suarez. I think he's going to be good. And I wasn't even expecting this. I mean, this is absolutely insane stuff from Ranger Suarez this season. if we pull up the Marlins, I mean, they're just a stone disaster as a team. They are horrible. 258 WOBA as a team this year against left-handed pitching. If I isolate 2023 and 2024 numbers, it's 300, which still isn't good. No power to speak of. I don't really see how, you could side with the Miami Marlins here. Now, I will say that I like to bet the Phillies more against I I like to bet the Phillies more against righties, but they actually have better numbers against lefties. This is actually pretty crazy. So against lefties, 2023 and 2024, 356 WOBA and a 202 ISO. That's great. JT Realmuto, massive splits against lefties. Bryce is good lefty. Alec Boehm has huge numbers. Castellanos has huge numbers. Sosa has huge numbers against lefties. So the Phillies grade out really, really well against left-handed pitching. So yeah, Phillies might have to be a play. When did Luis Ariz get traded to Padres? That was like over the weekend, I believe, last weekend. I think it was Friday night or Saturday night, one of the two. Maybe Friday night. It was like a week ago, though. Yeah, Phillies might have to be a play. They're minus 194 on the money line, so we're not touching that. I think we could look at a minus 1.5. I think we could look at a first 5 and put that in a first 5 parlay with another team. But Phillies definitely stick out to me tonight. Guardians and White Sox, Garrett Crochet against Carlos Carrasco. I've said this, I feel like 3 weeks in a row. I cannot figure out Carlos Carrasco. I can't. I don't know. He has good starts. His numbers aren't good. He's walking a lot of guys. Like, he's never had a double-digit walk percentage in his career, and he's at 11% right now. So I truly can't figure out Carlos Carrasco. On the opposite side, Garrett Crochet came out of the gate on fire his first 3 starts. Since then, he hasn't had much success, but his ERA is 5.31 and his expected is 2.42. That's one of the biggest gaps we're going to see of any pitcher. So we simply just have to trust the numbers and just bet on a bounce back from Garrett Crochet coming soon. He's got great strikeout stuff at 32%, doesn't walk a lot of guys. Expected WOBA allowed 250 is one of the best numbers in baseball. And his slider has been nasty. 35% whiffs on that, which is pretty good. And then his fastball, four-seamer, he's only allowing a 171 batting average. So that's been 2 really good pitches for him. Guys are hitting his slider a little bit better, but they are swinging and missing more. So I don't know. It's tough for me to bet on the White Sox because they're just so bad. But Garrett Crochet is going to bounce back at some point. They're slight favorites here. I guess if I was looking for something, it would be the first 5 money line for the White Sox. That would be my play. But it's just tough to bet on this White Sox offense, man. I just don't have faith in them scoring, but my read on this game has to be White Sox money line for the first 5. I don't want to mess with the bullpen. I know Garrett Crochet's pitching those 5 innings, so that's my lean there. Cleveland lineups takes a hit without Quan. 100% agree, Mitchell. Gabe, what's up? You like Dodger stack? Every night, Gabe. We can go Dodger stack every night. All right, continuing on. I might go White Sox first 5 money line. Maybe. We'll see. I like the Brewers here. I want to see if the money line predictor agrees. It does. Yeah, I like Brewers here. Anytime we can fade Lance Lynn, I mean, yeah. Guardians are not good versus lefties. Yeah, that's been a thing for quite a few years. Stephanie, agree. Dudes and yeah, Austin. I don't know why people in Cleveland hate on Steven Kwan. Steven Kwan is very good. Most teams would be happy to have Steven Kwan as their leadoff hitter. Literally most teams. Maybe take the Dodgers out because they're just so stacked. But I would guess 75% of Major League Baseball would love to have Steven Kwan be their leadoff hitter. I think he's amazing. I like the Brewers. Anytime we can fade Lance Lynn, I think it's good. You could take him first 5. You could take a full game. For the first 5, they're minus 122. For the full game, they're minus 120. So really no difference. Brewers do have a good bullpen. So The Brewers, I don't mind taking full game money line on them, whereas some teams, I hate dealing with their bullpen. The Orioles are kind of in that gap for me because I hate Craig Kimbrell. Craig Kimbrell has amazing numbers, but there's just nobody more annoying to watch pitch than him. It always is a sweat. If they could be up 1 or 2 runs and they bring him in the ninth, it's all you have to sweat it out all the time. You can't turn the game off and just be like, okay, we're gonna win. It has to be a sweat when Kimbrell gets on the mound. It's nothing worse. So, but the Brewers have a good bullpen, so I don't factor that in as much for them as other teams. Last couple games here, Rangers, Rockies, and Coors. I don't typically bet Coors field games unless I'm taking an over when it's hot. So that one's probably just an avoid for me there. Rangers are around minus 190 on the money line. Royals and Angels, Alec Marsh against Griffin Canning. This one I want to dive into a little bit. Griffin Canning this season, 669 ERA, 506 expected. Hasn't been very good. He throws majority fastballs at 34%. His slider is second most at 25%. His fastball's been trash. He's giving up a 306 batting average with his fastball, 325 expected. So, I mean, look, if you're throwing like majority of your pitches as fastballs and your fastball sucks, it's going to be tough for you to, put up good numbers. So I'm fine fading Griffin Canning most nights. Now, the problem is we have Alec Marsh going for Kansas City. 2.7 ERA this year for Alec Marsh, but 4.7 expected. So that's a 2-run difference. He doesn't look great either. I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. His fastball is definitely better than Canning's 222 batting average. I don't know. I'm fine betting the Royals or like the over here. The total's at 8.5. I think maybe we go over. Let me look at the lineups here. So Marsh is significantly worse. He's been reverse splits this year. He's been worse against righties and lefties. Lefties allowing a 224 WOBA, righties 337. And I mean, he's obviously, if he's a righty, he's going to see as many lefties as the Angels can pack in there. So that doesn't matter to me much. But I think an over could be the play here. Canning, his problem, like a Brandon Pfaadt, is terrible against lefties. 380 WOBA, 221 ISO. He's going to see only 4 of them, though, tonight, which definitely takes the appeal away from betting Kansas City. Because all of Kansas City's good hitters are right-handed, except for, like, Pasquantino and MJ Melendez. I guess Michael Massey's been decent, like, the last week, but really they only have 2 good lefties. So, I don't know. Maybe an over in that game. The splits look pretty decent on it too. 64% of the bets, but 76% of the handle. So I don't know. Maybe a full game over there. Dodgers, I mean, they're big favorites here. Michael King, Tyler Glasnow, that's a great pitching matchup. I won't be betting it, but I'll probably be watching it. A's are going up against the Mariners. Brian Woo's making his season debut. He was another guy that came up last year, got hurt. He's looked really good in the minors this year, but I just don't know how long he's going to pitch. So tough for me, to bet on Seattle. I guess first 5, if anything, just because, he might only go 4 or 5 innings tonight. And then in the late game, we have the Reds and the Giants, Logan Webb against Andrew Abbott. Mitchell, I think you're an Andrew Abbott guy, correct? If you're still watching, I'm pretty sure you like Andrew Abbott. He's been really good this year. Strikeouts are kind of mid at 22%, but everything else has been really good. 33% hard hits allowed is great. 280 expected WOBA is great. So, I mean, he's been really good. And then we know the story with Logan Webb. Logan Webb is great at home. Sometimes he struggles on the road. He hasn't been that good this year, though. I mean, 4.73 expected ERA. His strikeouts are dropped from 23% to 18%. His expecting batting average is at 306 compared to 255 last year. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Logan Webb, but I can't confidently back him. So if anything, I would lean Reds in the late game. Reds would be my lean. And the moneyline predictor likes the Reds too. So Reds and Twins and Brewers. That's my 3 favorite sides, I think, today. And then obviously Phillies, but you're going to have to I mean, you're gonna have to pair that with something because they're big favorites. But all right. As far as basketball goes, if anyone has any props you like for basketball tonight, drop it in the chat. Like I said, I'm not going to be betting a side of these games. I'm definitely excited. Hopefully the Wolves can go up 3-0 here, but if anyone has any props they like, let me know. This is the time to play him. Who, Abbott, Mitchell? Oh, Anthony, you said favorite for 10 plus runs tonight. Ooh, Man, 10 plus runs. I might say Milwaukee. Milwaukee might be my pick for that. If you're still watching, Anthony, I might take Milwaukee for 10 plus runs. Overall, thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it. I might go live tomorrow. I'll see what I'm doing. If I go live tomorrow, I'll obviously tweet it out. So just follow my Twitter. I might do a stream tomorrow at 3. We'll see what's going on. Good luck tonight. If you're looking to join the Discord, betcomer.com/pricing, my full betting card will be up in a little bit. And obviously, we'll be tackling stuff for the full weekend. Thank you guys for tuning in. Good luck with your bets tonight. And I'll see everyone on Monday or potentially tomorrow. We'll see.